Cliff sharpened his blade. The motion was clean. His armor lay beside him, upgraded piece by piece over the last several days. Alustin's warning had not left him. He could not do this alone. The Greymanes were already moving, pulling allies from every corner of Pyrel, calling in every debt the past months had built. But an army needed a leader worth following into what was coming, and a leader needed more than a sharpened blade. There were rumors of a wolf in the forests near Hernand's north gate. A legendary beast, they said, cloaked in shadow as black as pitch, bringing death to anyone foolish enough to trespass into its territory. Those it killed did not simply die. They became wolves themselves, or so the rumors went. Cliff found a woman named Cecilia in Hernand. Her husband served in the Hernandian Guard and had been dispatched to the North Gate days earlier. No word had come since. She had heard, though she wished she hadn't, that the few who were sent there never came back. She asked Cliff to find him. He headed for the North Gate. On the way, at the Hills of No Return ruins, he found Hernandian soldiers slaughtered, a scene that told its own story without any explanation. One soldier was still breathing. He said they had been scouting the area when a pack of wolves found them first. Cliff continued on. At the gate, the guard in charge had other problems weighing on him before Cecilia's husband was even mentioned. A vicious pack of wolves. He said these were not ordinary wolves, especially their leader. And poachers, shooting at anything that moved in the forest, driving the wolves into a frenzy that made the whole situation worse. He had a mess to sort out before he could spare a thought for the missing soldiers. Cliff decided to handle it himself. Find the missing men, find whatever was leading that pack, and deal with it on his own. The forest near the North Gate was known, plainly enough, as the Forest of Wolves. A trail of bodies waited for him there. Human and wolf both, scattered along tracks that led deeper into the trees. He followed them until he found the source, Black Fang and his pack. They were in no mood to negotiate. The frenzy had taken whatever instinct for caution wolves are supposed to have, and they attacked on sight. Cliff worked through the pack quickly. Black Fang was a different matter entirely. Huge, cloaked in a mane of pitch black, capable of vanishing from the battlefield and reappearing somewhere else instantly. Something right out of the children's horrid nightmares. With some effort, Cliff dealt with him. The wolves in the forest howled when it was done. Whether they mourned their leader or whether the howling came from the victims who had turned into wolves like the legend of Black Fang claimed, grieving in the only voice left to them, there was no way to know. What was certain was the change that followed. The pack's collective mind cleared. The frenzy cured. Black Fang was not the companion Cliff had come looking for, and Cecilia's husband was nowhere among the dead or the living he had found in the forest. He turned back toward the North Gate, hoping for help in widening the search. At the camp by the North Gate, to Cliff's relief, Cecilia's husband was alive, standing among the other soldiers, delighted at the letter from his wife that Cliff had carried with him. It had ended well for them. For Cliff, the search for a companion was still unresolved. What he found instead was Leebur's soul, a soul stone carrying the keen sense of smell and primal instinct of a wolf whose name Pyrel still remembers. The eyes preserved in that stone hold images of mystical beasts that remain otherwise unreachable to human sight. Leebur's wild nature, the legend says, awakens in anyone who resonates with it. He is known across Pyrel as the ultimate hunter, the wolf every other legendary wolf is measured against. When Cliff consumed the soul stone, the locations of several mystical beasts were revealed to him. One of them was Silver Fang. Silver Fang was another legend of the same lineage. A wolf that steals the lives of anyone who trespasses into its territory, its body gleaming with a pale and ominous light. Those it kills are said to become poisonous weeds growing outside its den. Howling Hollow was that den, a cave that sat directly in the path of roaming predators. Troops had been sent there once to secure the area for nearby residents. None of them returned. Sightings of a massive wolf persisted afterward, and people learned to avoid the area entirely rather than test the rumor again. Cliff arrived at Howling Hollow. The weeds were exactly as the legend described, glowing faintly in the moonlight, screeching when something approached too close. Silver Fang was inside. Cliff challenged it and killed it, then skinned the creature and took its fang to Eloin the witch. Eloin crafted a sigil of solidarity from it, a mystical sigil capable of summoning Silver Fang whenever Cliff had need of him. A companion fit for a Greymane leader, finally found. Cliff put on the Silver Fang helm and rode out on the wolf itself, looking like a terrifying menace. He was ready for the counterattack. Cliff arrived at Musket. His allies had already gathered there, armies drawn from across Pywell making camp at the Musket First Outpost. When he rode in on a legendary wolf, wearing its helm, the soldiers around him watched in awe as if he was an unstoppable force of nature. He found the strategy tent. Unka met him with a situation update.
You all right?
Oh, you look like shit.
Situation?
Preparations are complete. But there's something you should know.
What is it?
Better you hear it from Stefan.
Ah, there you are. This way. It's best you see it for yourself.
My lord.
I wanted to discuss that eyesore floating above the castle. A fortress in the sky.
What is it exactly?
When that fortress first appeared, every soldier that approached it mysteriously dropped dead. I had to contact the neutral zone to acquire a weapon of sufficient power that could let us deal with the damn thing.
Isn't there a famous weaponsmith there?
Yes, an orc named Valgash.
Who is he?
He forges weapons beyond imagination. But it turns out their situation is no better.
How could they possibly be as f***ed as we are?
His land has been plagued by war for a while now, ravaged from end to end.
War? In the neutral zone?
It seems their neutrality has offered little protection. I've dispatched couriers to the region, but none have returned. If we can't get word, we certainly won't get weapons.
I'll pay him a visit.
I'm sorry to ask for your assistance yet again, but there's none more suited for the task. Bring us that weapon.
Gorthak sits between Demenis and Delicia, known to most simply as the Neutral Zone. It is held under the protection of the Ironflame Orcs, a faction built around the finest ironworks in Pywell. Valgash leads them. They are, by a wide margin, the most powerful force the territory has. The steel produced here is excellent enough to be used as is, without further refinement, in crafting a wide range of goods. Gorthak's mechanical engineering goes further still. They lead the continent in weapons that fold that technology into something lethal. The Gate of Peace is built into the wall, dividing Demenis from Gorthak. Grand in scale, narrow by design, the width of the bridge was never an oversight. It is a deliberate bottleneck, meant to give any defender against a Deletian invasion the advantage that narrow ground always provides. At the center of the territory stands the Gorthak Ironworks, proof in stone and steel of what the Ironflame Orcs can produce, and the cornerstone holding up the region's entire economy. Nearby, the Crawl Foundry serves a similar function for the continent at large, supplying high-quality iron across Pywell, and with it, the kind of economic and diplomatic leverage that comes from being the source everyone else depends on. The Zargan Tankworks rounds out the territory's industry, producing the siege engines that have become Gorthak's signature export. Sturdy, powerful, built to outlast the battles they're designed for. On the border, the Snaketail Wall separates Gorthak from Delicia. With the Snaketail Gate as its only crossing, the Yogar beacon watches the southern approach. Even though the relations with Delicia have stayed amicable, the Ironflame Orcs remain vigilant regardless. Cliff arrived at the Gate of Peace to find it under siege, not by an army in any conventional sense, but by insects. Huge mechanical insects, some flying, some crawling, swarming the defenders from every direction at once. The Clockwork Ant is a biomechanical construct built to maintain the Legion with maximum efficiency. Artificial, forged from intricate and durable metal components, compact enough to move quickly across harsh terrain, while its mandibles strike at enemies or harvest resources as the situation requires. The Clockwork Beetle balances combat with support. Smooth, resilient steel plating protects it, while its forelegs and mandibles handle both offense and defense. Stable on any terrain it encounters, it doubles as a transport for vital supplies. The Clockwork Mosquito was engineered for lethal precision. Small, fitted with a delicate exoskeleton and wings, it excels at ambush, fast and evasive enough to toy with whatever it has decided to hunt. Some variants carry self-destruct devices that detonate on demand, turning the insect itself into a weapon of last resort. The Clockwork Dragonfly exists for reconnaissance. A slender metal frame, delicate wings, swift maneuvering, and precise turns. Built for distance and observation rather than combat, relaying what it sees and tracking targets for whatever comes after it. The Ironflame Orcs were fighting back with guns, but the numbers were against them. As Cliff approached the gate, the insects turned on him too, forcing him to stumble into the garrison while fending off the swarm. He found himself surrounded by orcs, with their guns raised, until one of the sharper ones recognized what side he was actually on. He asked what was happening.
Marni's machines started to attack out of nowhere. We're facing hell unless we stop them.
Sir, all who went to the tower have fallen.
Shit, hold your position! Understood. I'm running out of options. Right. I think you can reach the tower out there and activate the disruptor.
Cliff ran through the swarm, climbed the tower, found the machine waiting there, and inserted the disruptor. It activated. A pulse spread outward from the tower, tearing through every insect, attacking the Gate of Peace. They exploded in the air, one after another, the swarm collapsing into smoke and falling metal. Cliff spoke to the Orc Vice Captain afterward. He explained what he needed, a weapon capable of bringing down the flying fortress. The Vice Captain pointed him toward Chief Valgash. The insects around the Gate of Peace were gone, but the rest of Gorthak was still under siege. Cliff cut through the swarm on his way toward the ironworks and came across an orc whose soldiers were dying around him, overwhelmed. A Clockwork Mosquito closed in on him from above. Cliff jumped, shoved the orc out of its path, and took the hit meant for him instead. That orc was Valgash.
Valgash, I've been looking for you.
That was closer than I like.
Seems like I came at a bad time.
What makes you say that? Calcrick, you all right?
There's more of them.
I'm all right. What? Shit. Should have known this would happen. Should have seen it when that bastard first started building these cursed machines.
Who are you talking about?
Marni, the one who built these clockwork horrors.
Cliff followed him to the Zargan tank works. Valgash leads the Ironflame Orcs and runs the Gorthak Ironworks, one of 3 great engineers shaping Delicia's technological landscape, alongside Marni and Faust. They call him the Architect of War, a title earned through mechanical craft brilliant enough to back it up. His ironworks is the largest in Pywall, and his focus was on gathering his own power to ensure that neither he nor his people are manipulated by Demonis or by anyone else in Deletia. Once they reached safety, there was a moment to actually speak. Valgash had already heard of Cliff before this. Reputation travels faster than most people expect. The conversation didn't last. An orc soldier broke in to report that the rear lines were collapsing as well. Valgash had a few tricks left in reserve.
Swarm like hornets. No time to even breathe.
Seems like you haven't lost hope yet.
We've got a trick or two left ourselves. But we could do with your help. Go up the hill. Our secret weapon's waiting for you.
Leave it to me.
Up the hill sat a mechanical garage, a machine inside it, and a dwarf waiting nearby. The dwarf was Marek, an engineer in Valgash's service. Despite their bickering, his remarkable synergy with Valgash allowed them to build the A.T.A.G. He enjoys watching its explosive firepower, but believes his invention holds possibilities beyond being a mere weapon of war. He showed Cliff how to operate it. There was no time for proper training. Cliff learned the basics, and that had to be enough. Marek loaded it with everything he could fit, while Valgash explained the bigger picture. There was another weapon, one that could end the war outright, but it needed an enormous amount of power to fire. Before anything else, the power plant had to come back online. And before that could happen safely, the insect numbers needed thinning. The machine was ready. The A.T.A.G, all-terrain armored gear, is a decisive war machine, painstakingly built by Valgash and Marek together. Its firepower is overwhelming, powerful enough to shift the balance of a war in Pywell on its own. Its controls are tricky enough to limit how freely it can be used, which is the only thing keeping it from being a weapon too dangerous for anyone to safely pilot. Cliff took it into the swarm. EMP charges and missiles tore through the ground-based insects. The machine gun caught the flying clockworks out of the air, one explosion after another. The insects had no real answer to it. Their numbers thinned, then broke, then started to retreat. It still wasn't over. Cliff headed to the Crawl Foundry to find Valgash and get the power plant running. He located the thermal generator and activated it. The plant came alive, a vast mechanical process producing power on a scale Cliff watched unfold with genuine attention. Valgash warned him it would take time to generate what the weapon needed. Time the insects did not intend to give him. A new wave came for the power plant directly, and Cliff held the line with the A.T.A.G until the attack broke and the plant finished charging. Valgash's weapon, the long-range cannon meant to end the war, was ready. Not for the insects this time. For the Sky Galleons. A Sky Galleon was a small airship, streamlined, built for patrol across the skies. Armed, it becomes a formidable weapon capable of attacking from above. The kind of vessel wealthy merchants dream of one day using for trade voyages, once the war that currently defines its purpose is finally over.
Make your shots count.
Cliff operated the cannon and brought down both Sky Galleons in turn. As the second one exploded, something fell from the wreckage to the ground below. Cliff went to investigate the crash site. A giant mechanical insect, shaped like a praying mantis, rose up from the wreckage and attacked before he could get close enough to look properly. A frozen-hearted predator. Marni's Clockwork Mantis is a biomechanical machine engineered to dominate close combat. Scythe-shaped forelimbs, a smooth and hardened exoskeleton, joints built for swift and powerful strikes. Once it acquires a target, it closes the distance like lightning. Cliff defeated it and returned to the Crawl Foundry to find Valgash. Valgash was impressed. He said as much, praised the fighting on display, and then got to the actual point. He already knew why Cliff had come to Gorthak. They rode together while Valgash explained who Marni really was.
Marni used to make machines to help people. Machines to help with cooking or farming. But somewhere along the way, he started building weapons. Just like the ones you fought here. The Flying Fortress is one of them. When Marni first made it, he claimed it was modeled after something he'd seen. An island in the sky. That's what he wanted to create. He was always an eccentric, so I didn't think much of it, but when I saw what he had built, I knew it was a weapon of war. A weapon capable of claiming tens, hundreds, no, even thousands of lives. No one knows what turned him down that path. He never explains a damn thing. Only opens his mouth to talk about his inventions. I'd like to know what passes through that head of his. And see what he hides behind that mask. Hang on, what's this lot doing here?
They reached the Snaketail Wall, where Marek and the Orc vice-captain were in good spirits, trading compliments about Valgash's weapon before moving on. Valgash picked the conversation back up with Cliff.
Now, where was I?
You were talking about the Flying Fortress being a dangerous weapon.
Ah, well, the original plan was to destroy it with my cannon. But we depleted all of its power in the last battle. We've no time to get it charged up again. I just can't wrap my head around why Marni would create such a thing. The strange rumors I'm hearing just doesn't sound like the man I once knew.
Rumors?
Nonsense about snatching northern folk, sticking them in strange coffins, and torturing them.
Northern folk? I should hurry over.
He might see you. He does love his oddities. That over there's Delesia Castle. You'll find him there.
Cliff looked at the castle in the distance. It was lit like the sun had never set on it. Marni built machines to help people around him once. Cooking, farming, the ordinary work of making life easier. Somewhere along the way, he started to build weapons. Something changed in him. Valgash didn't know what. Marni has never explained it to anyone, and the man who knows him best in all of Delecia is left guessing at what's underneath the mask, same as everyone else. That gap matters. Caliburn and Bastier had reasons we could see. Ambition, cruelty, a will to power dressed up in different justifications. Marni doesn't fit that pattern. He builds horrors and says nothing about why. The rumor about the northern folk, the coffins, the torture, none of it has an explanation. Just a name, a mask, and a castle lit up like daylight never ends. On the other hand, Valgash, the architect of war, by his own design, refused to let Demonis or anyone else in Delecia hold power over his people. He saved his orcs with a cannon built for exactly this kind of moment. And the cost of using it was depleting the one weapon that might have brought down the Flying Fortress outright. Every choice in this episode has that shape. Power purchased at the price of using it up before the bigger fight even starts. Marni is in Delecia Castle, and if the rumors hold any truth, the northern folk may be there too. Cliff has his answers about Gorthak, but those answers had created more questions about the man who built a flying island. Who was Marni? What did he want from the northern folk? Whatever the question, the answers were in Delecia. In Marni's Mastrium, a handful of thieves moved through the dark, searching for loot. A shadow passed overhead, the shape of a dragon, wings spread against whatever light reached that deep into the structure. On the walls, a mechanical claw shifted,